What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shakira 2 times.
And I'm Liana, and we are just your 2 certified yappers who think we are qualified to give our opinions. And this is
our 2 cents.
Hey!
Now, y'all know why we're here. 'Tis the season. Love is in the air.
'Tis a season of love, baby.
Right? Love is all the things. But one thing that love may or may not be is blind.
Ooh, that was good.
You see what I did there? And as we talked about last time, we are here to chat about Love is Blind Season 8, which is here on our turf in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we're super excited to dive in. But first, we have a little segment called Trend Check, where we're getting into it. You know, we're on social media, figuring out what y'all think about all of this.
Yes.
And I did a poll amongst my followers asking if folks think love is blind. What do you think the results were?
I think they probably landed very similar with us. I feel like they are on the same page as us, as it should be. But in reality, we're not so sure. We're not so confident in that.
Yes, and you are correct. So 77% said, hell no, Shakira, love is not blind. If I can't see it, I can't be it. And 23% said, yes, love is blind. And then some people had commentary, very low percentages for that. So overall, people do not think love is blind. Some of the commentary and feedback that I got was like, imagine if my husband is broke and not a good person and ugly, I could not sleep next to him. Like, verbatim, a good friend of mine, not going to say her name. Somebody else said, like, it should be, right? But it's not that easy. And then a lot of people were just like, no, like you need to test it before you need to test drive the car before you buy it. So
it's just so hard. Like in this experiment with Love is Blind, the show, they are in a controlled setting. In reality, like I just wouldn't do it. You know?
Yeah.
So it's hard, but I agree with the people. I agree with what the streets are saying.
Yeah, me too. I completely agree. So I mean, those 23% who think love is blind, those are the types of people who show
go on the show.
So there we are. Exactly. So speaking of the show, let's get into it, girl.
What are your first thoughts? Because, well, before we even get into it, seeing what Twitter has been saying, well, I'm not on Twitter, I'm Threads. I'm on Threads.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because I haven't checked.
Oh, you haven't? Even on TikTok either?
Tell me what they're saying.
The people are saying it's a snooze fest. They're saying it's a snooze fest, and I'm trying to decipher because right now I'm invested. Obviously, we decided we wanted to do reactions on this, so I'm into the show, and it's on our home turf. I don't think it's boring.
So I think the issue is that last season was, think of Love and Hip Hop meets Real Housewives meets Jerry Springer meets Married at First Sight. Like, last season was insane. And I think because of that, this is, it seems healthy. The love, they seem like folks that are going to last. There's no, real villains. I think that's why it seems boring. Because this show there's been some characters, okay? And this season seems very, tamed.
I will say, the craziest one is the 30, you're 30, so you're unattractive
and
guy.
Then he didn't even, keep that same energy.
He did not at all.
Yeah.
So I can see that point. Of course, as viewers, we love drama. As much as we want peace and harmony and everyone to, fall in love at the end of the day, the drama's what keeps us.
Of course, that's what sells it. And, I feel like Minneapolis already has to other big cities, we give boring anyway. So it's not really helping.
No, that's true. But I do think there's a lot of things to unpack within it. I really do like this episode or this season. I like the cast. I think obviously there's some things that could be more exciting. But I think if you're watching, there's people that are kind of annoying me and doing things that I'm like, ooh, I cannot wait to ask Shakira about this and how you feel about it. So initially, what are your thoughts based on the first 3 episodes?
May I refer to my notes, please?
Oh,
because I have a lot of thoughts, okay? I should have kept the glasses off and then put them back on for this. If you refer to my notes. I have a lot
Shaq with the facts.
Yes. Shaq with the facts reporting live. I have a lot of notes on the first 3 episodes. One thing I will say, just random observation of everyone has nice teeth. I don't know if our health insurance is actually I do know our health insurance is better than a lot of the 50 states. But nobody's mouth looks crazy. So I really appreciate that about all of you. That's my one thing. That's my biggest thing.
Good job. Good dental hygiene.
Yes, good dental hygiene. 2, women in STEM. Oh my God, she's killing it behind the y'all don't even know what's going on, but she's killing it. 2, something that stood out to me was in the very beginning, Nick and Vanessa were like, this is our biggest Love is Blind yet. This is the most contestants we've ever had.
Yeah.
In Minneapolis is where you found the most contestants. That really surprised me.
I will say I was so shocked by how many people we're not seeing.
Yeah.
There was hella people. We need to send out a missing persons report for half the cast.
No.
Because we haven't seen them. Amanda, Don't know where she is. Your man's Mo. Gone. Hugo, haven't seen him. My girl Vanessa was so excited to see her.
And that's the older lady?
The curly hair.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the beautiful curly hair.
There's so many people that...
She hasn't been, shown.
They're literally nowhere to be found.
But she has been making connections because you can see her make her way... Because they'll start sending people home who aren't making connections. Like the behind-the-scenes stuff. And she's been in some clips, but... I've not seen her in any pods.
Yeah, and I've seen Hugo's bald, shiny head, like when they show the guys from the bird's eye view, but he has literally nothing to say. So, and I know that's how it goes. I think, like, because we are doing this, we deep dove and, like, built connections with these people so we can tell what they're missing. Otherwise, you can't tell that they're, like, you know. But, yeah, I agree with you there. Another thing is, like, you know, we've had some big moments in pop culture, but... It's still trippy listening to people refer to, like, cities and places that I've been to.
Who said it?
Like, it's nothing. Like
Virginia?
Said
Woodbury or something?
Yeah, somebody said he died, and I was like, how do y'all know about this? So,
I'm ready to see Maple Grove.
I heard Maple Grove.
They did?
Yeah, somebody is, like, works at, like, a clinic in Maple Grove or something. I think they said
Probably one of the nurses. Oh,
yeah, so that was cool. Also, these Minnesota accents are diabolical. Disgusting.
It makes me sick. When I moved to Chicago, like, that was the first thing. I'm like, please don't pick me out. Please don't.
My gosh. And we have them, you a little bit more than me, but they're light.
Do I?
Yeah.
I do?
Yeah, yes. But they're light. They're, like, very, like, it's a sprinkle of Minnesota accent.
Ew, what do
it's
I
not
say? No, because now I have a complex about that.
Okay, even just how you said now. Like,
now?
Like, the O is drawn out. I don't know. I'm going to call him out whenever I hear you. But,
this is the last episode.
It's nowhere near, right, one and done. No, it's nowhere near what we saw. What we saw was disgusting. No shade to Joey. And then, like, just other random initial thoughts that I had. Like, Taylor is a baddie. She's so beautiful. She
is. I can't. It's hard because all of these episodes, we're breaking this up in 2 parts, but, like, they all start to blend together, obviously.
For sure.
So 1 through 3, I don't think she shared what I think, like, she shared something that I found was, like, really, it made her really relatable.
Yeah.
About,
and we'll
like,
get into
body image and stuff. And I liked it. That's one thing I do really like about this season is they're, like, getting into the real conversations and having talks about real stuff, like political issues, sexuality. Yeah, just different things like that. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. I completely agree. Another just random thought I had is, like, Lord forgive me, Devin needs to let that hair go. He should let it go. I think he would be a handsome bald man. Like, he's a good-looking guy. He should let the hair go.
I'm trying to picture him bald. I can see it because he has a good beard.
Yeah, I think he should let it go for sure. Like, I really do. Like, I don't want to get too much into it, but I have a 3-year-old. And the first, like, year and a half of his life, he just would not grow hair. And me and his dad have so much hair, like, especially his dad. But I also have a lot of hair, too. And it just wouldn't grow in. And now it's growing in very thick in some places, patchy in other places. They resemble. Except Devin is not 3. So that's how I feel. Yeah.
That's Shaq with the facts.
My 2 cents. Don't fight me.
Oh, my gosh. Well, sorry, Devin. I mean, you know, you do you. What do you think about the Devin triangle?
Right now, I like Devin and Brittany, and I really like Devin and Virginia. I like him with both of them. I think that, like, their bonds are real. I will say I feel like him and Brittany have more in common.
That's how I felt. Yep.
But, like, on paper, him and Virginia would be really cute together, too. What are your thoughts?
I thought the same thing. Like, I think they had the connection of being the basketball coaches. They're very driven people, and basketball is life for both of them. You can tell. Like, that sport meant a lot to them. And I think that they were very complimentary towards each other.
Yeah.
I think, just based on what I also know about Minnesota men, I also kind of know Devin. So, like... he went to Park Center, I went to Maple Grove, so we crossed paths a few times.
Okay.
So I thought, like, Virginia going to Park Center was also, like, a really interesting coincidence.
But 5 years apart.
5 years apart, which, sidestep, there's a lot of those moments I'm noticing. Like, so many people have so many weird coincidences, like, favorite movies, and, like, that's why, and it was just, like, the producers knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they ate. And I see why some of them are, like, nowhere to be found, because they picked up on the people that have all these similarities, and, like, so I get it. And
I think Virginia, like, what she said, she's like, I want to be cheering you on at the games, like, and... Sorry, my thoughts are kind of scrambled, but Devin wants somebody who's going to be his cheerleader. He said it a couple times, and I've heard him say it a couple times, and Virginia gives the energy that she would do that.
Yes, I think that and I hate to say this, especially about a black woman, but I think Britt might be too much of an alpha woman for Devin.
I agree.
Yeah,
and that's
she's so driven, and I think he wants more of a traditional woman to kind of sit in the sidelines.
Not so much traditional, but he does want somebody who wants to look at him as the star.
Yeah.
And she has too much potential to dim her light for that moment.
Exactly.
I think who he picks is going to make sense for him.
For sure.
Him, who they pick each other.
Right.
What other couples were standing out to you?
If you could just scroll. So I love Matt. Okay. Madison and Alex. I really like them. Madison is very, like, spunky, and what I appreciated about her, and I think I have the right girl, she's the one who had, like, all the trauma.
Yeah, with the butterfly tattoo. Yes. Yeah.
I, can relate. Like, I have had a lot of trauma in my life, and what I appreciate about her is that she's still, like, very open to finding love. I do think, and maybe I'm being, like, biased, but I think these women have, like, so much more depth. Like, a lot of these men just grew up cookie cutter. Like, one of the guys even was like, yeah, I just grew up like a regular white guy. Like, very cookie cutter, like, 2-parent home with the dog and the T-ball growing up and, like, just the sport. Just very much, like, no trauma. So I really like her because she has a lot of depth. And I like her and Alex. At least I did 1 through 3. I don't remember. I think that changes. Other couples, that's really all I have to say about the couples.
Let's stay on Alex and Madison for a second, because the third wheel in that one is Mason.
Yes.
And then to make it a square is Meg, the 30-year-old.
Okay, names.
No, I'm invested.
Is Meg the bangs, the redhead?
Megan's the one you came for her age.
But she's so fun.
She is
like
fun.
The one with, like, the sex operator voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meg.
Yeah, Meg. So
right now, and I'm going to try to put these pictures on the screen. I can't promise every time we are on a time crunch. But anyways, so it goes Alex, Madison, and Mason. Alex and Madison have this, like, trauma bond because Alex had his, like, bullying in high school, and they have, like, such a sincere, genuine connection, and I love that. And you can tell Madison loves that. And then there was also something brewing with Mason, and I think Mason likes Madison more than she likes him.
Oh, yeah.
So Alex and Madison are each other's one. They're 2, but then Meg, she wants Mason. That's her number one. And Mason's been kind of going back and forth between Madison and Meg.
Yes. And I like Meg. I think she's cute and she's fun, but she scares me a little bit.
Her energy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a lot. I mean, I'm similar. I'm probably like that in some ways. Like, she's very herself, and I love that for her. She needs someone who's going to match that energy. And I think Mason could, but his eyes are on Madison. Yeah. And what I found, take that a step further, what I found so interesting is that, like, everyone comes in and they share their story. Oh, I always go for this person. And you see it happening real time. Like, and obviously it's producing. But, like, their 1 and 2 are, like, between the person that they should go with and the person that they normally go for. Exactly. And I'm like, oh my God, pick the other one!
No, seriously. And it's so interesting, though, this experiment is, like, even though you can't see these people, you're still going for your traditional type.
So crazy.
What is that about?
I don't know. What kind of brain is that?
And
like, what do we got going up here?
Man.
Because that would be me. And also, I'm not mentally stable enough to go on this show. Like, I was watching this and I was like, no, I would lose my shit on this show.
And that's what I was saying about Meg. I was like, girl, calm down. Because she was really hurt. She's like, my boyfriend has a girlfriend. Like, I'm more on, like, Madison's vibe. Like, I signed up for this. I knew that. Don't get me wrong, it would suck. But you know what you're getting into. You went through how many weeks? You went through how many weeks of just, like, preparing for this to know that y'all were going to be dating the same people. So I'm sure in real time it sucks. And I don't want to sound like I'm not sympathetic or empathetic. No. But, yeah, like, girl, you just gotta... What did you expect?
And that's just the humanity coming through the TV, because there's every show we go on, like, you know you're dating the same people, like, but it's still your feelings getting involved. Yep. So I get that it's probably hard.
For sure.
So those are my feelings on them. There's another dynamic that I really like. Yes. And this is the asshole David.
Yes.
Yeah. He's with Molly and Lauren.
You're so good with names.
I know. I'm really invested, y'all. No.
Okay. So tell us about that. Let's get into that.
Okay. So Molly is the redhead who I'm so sorry again for calling your face annoying, but honestly, some of your behaviors kind of like you seem like a great girl, but like some of the things I'm like, I see what I was picking up on.
Correct.
And how you were going about it, like, as the episodes unfold, I think it was, like, a perception issue, and, like, they were perceiving things and being told things differently, and it got messy. But how you were acting was a little, like,
The vibe that I get is that Molly's manipulative.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's intentional, but that is how it's being perceived, at least by me. And Lauren seems like this, just, she's the teacher. She's, like, innocent, very sweet, genuine, but, like speaks up for herself, like, not innocent and, like, doesn't have any spice to her, but she's, like, that sweet teacher vibe.
She is. And I put in my notes, and with no context, so I don't know why I said this, but I literally put in my notes, Lauren might be a little bit crazy. I don't recall why I said that.
Did you... I can see that she has that side.
Yes.
Because I see how she moves and operates. Like, she was peeping Molly's energy, and, like, she was kind of, like, observing and then, like, talking to other people about it. Which, I mean, girls, we kind of get like that sometimes, so I'm not judging. But, like, yeah, I do think she has that spice to her. She's a Sagittarius.
So yeah.
They're both Sagittarius.
Interesting. So he's got a type, for sure.
He does. And he's an Aries man. And so he's choosing between those two, and he's, like... Him and Molly have a lot in common. They're, like, the same person. Molly's never had a boyfriend before.
Which is crazy. She said one thing I liked. She was like, I've never wanted to have a boyfriend just to have a boyfriend. Like, and I love that. Because a lot of times, I mean, most of at least our first boyfriends, it's because everyone else is doing it, and it just seems like the right thing to do. So I love that. And then I like something she said that made me giggle. They were talking about how she has an ass tattoo, which I also have one. That's not here or there. But and she was like, I get the vibe that you haven't seen that many asses. I just thought that was so funny. Like, she's very quirky. She's quirky. She doesn't have much of a filter. So
and
she reminds me of myself in some ways. Not the annoying part, hopefully. But.
She's not. I mean, I don't think, like, she's annoying. I think I would like her if I met her, and I think we would get along. And she has, like, a funny personality. But there's just some things that she does where I'm like,
Yeah.
One person that surprised me, like, the Sarah.
Yes.
I really like Sarah.
I love Sarah. I love her. She's so sweet.
She's not pick me at all.
No.
I think the producer just pulled that, obviously, and it just, that's the vibe.
And I don't even think it's a pick me thing. I think, like, she brought it up in the show. Like, she genuinely that's something she enjoys. So, yeah, I really like her. She's actually my favorite girl.
Is she?
Yeah, for sure.
She's definitely up there for me. I don't have, like, a set stand-up favorite of anyone right now.
Yeah.
But I do really like... I really like Sarah, and I like what she stands for, and I like how she communicates, and, like, she, honestly, I learned how, like, you can communicate and say, like, what your standards are about something, and it can be a peaceful conversation.
Yeah.
Like, that is, I loved how she went about that, and then still, like, left room for him to grow, and, like, because he just, honestly, he's, like, he said, I think he was one of the ones that I was just a white kid.
Yeah.
He didn't have to be challenged and address these issues, and that is so common in Minnesota. Like, I don't think he probably looks at somebody who's different than him and has mean, malicious thoughts, but he's never had to, like, challenge himself in that way. Which,
to her point, can be a red flag, you know?
It can.
Like, especially, and I love that she is, you know, because I've watched seasons of Love is Blind where these conversations were had, but it's because the person on the other side of the pod was a person of color. Like, she's a white woman challenging these things still, saying, like, that's damn near a deal breaker for me. I think that was really important to see, just, like, for TV as a whole, but then also, like, even her bringing up George Floyd, like, I just think that that's very important, and I love that. Like, he gives me, unfortunately, that conversation made me not like him, because you're right. I think that, you know, he has been able to live in his bubble, but, like, he gives me, like, I don't see color vibes. And that gives me the ick.
Did you see the follow-up conversation? They had a separate date after that, and they were, like, talking about, he's like, he basically was like, I listened to what you said, and he's like, it's not your job to teach me. I want to learn that way. He's like, I just haven't had a chance to, he did have a chance, but he just hasn't put effort into, doing it. So I think she challenges him in a good way.
Yeah,
and I think that's, like, a good example of, like, he's not there yet, but there's room for growth, and, like, I think that's a good example. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, I do like them. And somebody else that surprised me that I did not think, you know, I was judging him hard.
Yes.
Is Daniel.
I know. And apparently I have some ties.
So me too. So let's get into Daniel. Yes, so one, if y'all remember on the first episode, I said he looked like Chucky.
He sure did.
I recant my statement. He doesn't look like Chucky. He looks like Jack from The Incredibles. Either way, it's scary. But Daniel is actually the person that my co-parent went to school with. I thought it was a different
Alex.
guy. Yes, it was Daniel. So he knows him. He's such a sweet guy. He's like, he has no red flags, which is a red flag. So that's cool though. He seems like he's genuinely himself. I really like him. He's like adorable.
Do you like him with who he's kind of making a connection with, Lauren?
I'm not opposed.
I like it. I think he said something really sweet, and I apologize if this was in the second half of episodes, but same shit. He said that like if she left because she has family stuff going on, he would come and find her, and I was like, ooh, that gave me chills right now. Like that is this reassurance that us women we want to hear, and like I think the girls are doing also a really good job at like keeping their cool and not being like, oh my god,
I know.
Like they're like, you know, I'm dating 10 other guys.
Right,
so
they're playing hard to get.
Yeah,
no, but I thought that was really cute, and he just seems very genuine. So I feel very good about him.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
we will see.
Yes.
We'll see.
Oh, and then just another thing. Yeah, Madison has Riz. Like, I don't know if it's like the way she talks to these boys, but she could woo me, and I don't even like ladies. Like, she has a lot of Riz, so I really like her. I think her and Sarah are my favorites. My favorite for the girlies right now. And I think my favorite guy is Daniel. He just seems so adorable and wholesome, and I'm a fan.
I am a fan. We forgot to talk about Joey and Monica.
Yes, well, this is perfect. Yeah. They're the couple that have made it thus far. They proposed. What do you think
first
about
engagement.
Them?
First of all, I think their energies were so perfect for each other. Like, even just off of first impressions, I got the impression that they were both really kind of quirky and weird. Like what I said about Monica's dress.
Yes.
It looked good for her because it works for her.
Right.
And the way that their energies just like blended, it was perfect. And when they opened up and they saw each other and their smiles and they were both so happy, I was like, I believe in this.
I love this.
Blind.
No, literally, you can tell that they really like each other. But what I will say, maybe something's wrong with me. I think he's more attracted to her than she is him.
Maybe.
Like, with their first kiss, looked like like they were third graders. This man got in the brackets. This is the best. That's the best first kiss I've ever had in my life. Like,
I know. I said it was a
you're a liar.
It was like this.
So either you're lying or I don't know. I just feel like she's kind of like and he's like all in. That's how I feel. I hope I'm wrong.
I wish they showed them more because like now that they're engaged, we haven't seen them at all except them kind of like being in the pods as support. But yeah, I want to see more. I'm so excited to see them on the next step. Like all the couples that move forward.
Yeah.
Okay, my last thing I kind of want to talk about with the recap of these set of episodes. What do you think about like pod management? Because once you leave those pods and you go back to like Kiki with the girls, are you telling them who you're talking to, what your vibes are? Like, because you have to process. I'm an external processor.
Yeah, that's
so you got to
true.
talk to people, but like you don't want to
tell them everything.
Yeah.
Especially because the chances that someone else is dating your exact same person is very high. I don't know. You know, I'm a yapper, and I like to be open. But I think it really depends. I would need to know like the time frame of how long have I known these girls? Have we gone through the whole casting together and like gotten to know each other and we have a friendship, or is it like I'm talking to you once a day? Because I think it really depends on that. If I feel like, okay, these girls like we're cool, like after this show we'll go out and get drinks and like we can really be friends, then I think I would confide in like the basic things for sure, and even like say names just so that, because I'd rather know also too who else my man is talking to than be blindsided. I agree. Like you're coming in here giggling and shit and I gotta guess and try to figure out who has you giggling. No, I'd rather know everything up front. So yeah, I think I'd be pretty open. What about you?
Well, see, this is why I said, like, I mentally could not. Because my anxiety, I would just sit there analyzing everyone. Like, are you talking to him?
Yeah.
Or was what you're saying to me?
Yeah.
Like, every conversation I would hear, I would just overthink. So, but I think, I'd want to share about it. But I don't know if I would say names. Because I like how the guys are doing it. The guys haven't said anything.
Men
like,
are so simple. I respect that. I respect that. Like,
I do. I'm like, how, though? How do you not say it? And they're just very, like, they'll talk about what they're feeling, but they don't get into the details, and then when you see the girls do it, it starts to get a little catty because feelings are involved. And
again, like, imagine a girl comes in the room jumping up and down, like, girl, like, what are you laughing so hard about? Like, who has you giggling? Like, so I would need to know. I want to know names, so I don't have to deal with the anxious part where I'm trying to piece things together. Like, oh, that sounds like something he said to me, because then I will actually go insane. So I would be like, no, not in a confrontational way, but just be like, hey, so, who's your guy? You know?
And what if, could you be friends with a girl or get close and like keep sharing things if you knew she was dating your guy too? If he was like 3 on your list.
So, if he was 3 on my list, yes.
Okay.
But there was actually an incident last season where 2 girls had the same number 1. And it got really muddled. Maybe it was 2 seasons ago. One girl had dated the other guy in the past. And somehow they both got on the show. Oh. So once they found out that they were connected to the same guy, she was spilling everything. Like, he drives this kind of car, he does this, he does that. And it just gave the other girl the ick so bad that she left the show. Like, she's like, because the girl was like, yeah, we slept together like 3 months before filming. Like, just all the things. So the girl was like,
honestly,
I'm good.
That would be me, because I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
like,
she was
I'm already
over
too
it.
invested, and now I got, that would be done.
So it literally ruined the experiment. So I'm hoping that nothing like that does happen. Although in the trailer, there is a clip by somebody who she's like, he seems a little too familiar to me. Like, maybe somebody did cross that. So I don't know. I don't know, but I'm a little bit nervous, but we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Okay, yes. So my question for you is, what is the first question or one of the first questions you would ask somebody in the pod?
That is honestly such a I'm trying to think. I would probably say, what would be like a perfect day to you?
Okay.
Your perfect day. Like, because you can learn so much about a person. Like, I want them to get really creative and, like, start to finish. How would it go? Maybe something like that.
That's a really good question. I clearly am like a Black Panther or something, because the first question, this is me working in politics, I think it's messing me up. The first question I would ask is, do you see color? I feel like that's the new who did you vote for.
That's the first question you're saying?
Yes, I would. Yes. No, I need to know. I swear to God, because I feel like that determines pretty much, like, your mindset. That determines the type of person that you are. And we can move forward after that. Like, I really think that that's important. Maybe not the very first question.
Okay, that's
Hi, I'm Shakira. Do you see color? But, like, if I cannot detect any melanin in your voice, I think that that's one of the first things I would ask, because that would let me know your mindset. Like, I feel like Minneapolis, Twin Cities, very liberal. But, like, I think the last election showed us, and the one before that, too, that Minnesota as a whole is not that liberal. And I just want to know what people's mindsets are. I just want to know up front.
I do think it should be one of your first questions.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's not
the first question.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. You're right.
No,
you're
but
right.
I definitely agree and appreciate the sentiment. Like, that's important. It needs to be spoke on, like, right away.
For sure.
Because why am I building a connection with you beyond it if it's just that's not there?
Exactly.
This is kind of backtracking a little bit to Sarah and Ben's talk about, like, Black Lives Matter and how, how that all went down. And I thought it was really funny because in that same conversation, they became boyfriend and girlfriend too.
But she forgot about all of that after his answer.
She forgot, and she goes back, and you can just see she's in, like, distress.
Disgusted, yes.
And then Ben's like, I have a girlfriend.
I know. Like, that literally shows, like, the dynamic of Delulu. Because we've all been on that side, like, or on the other side, like what we were just talking about. There's always one person that's just, like, in a completely different space. But that's so funny. That's hilarious.
Me think, like, how many times have I been in that situation?
But I like that we got to see a guy be in that, because there's, like, the negative connotation that's, like, how we are, how women are. So I like that we got to see, like, a Delulu boy for once.
And I love it, Ben. Keep it up.
Yes, he truly is in his own bubble. Like, that proves that. Like, he wants to do better and be better, but, like, he's in his own bubble.
All right. Miss Shakira.
Miss Lana.
What are your predictions for the next few episodes?
Okay, let me get into my bag for this one. I just got on my fake glasses.
And we're back.
Okay, and we're back on. Okay. So, one, I think that Joey and Monica are going to work out.
I hope so.
I think so. I think, like, I think he's annoying. She doesn't. His Minnesota accent doesn't bother her. She likes his hair. So, I think that they'll work out. They have a natural chemistry that just flows so easily.
They do.
So, I'm here for them. I think that Ben and Sarah will also work out. I just think the only thing, there's something Sarah said that I really liked, and that was that, like, you can't coach somebody on, like, their viewpoint of the world. Like, you can't teach that. So that makes me nervous. But if he's willing to do the work and grow, then I think they could work out. I think that Devin is going to end up with, what's the ex-dancer's name? Virginia. I think Devin's going to end up with Virginia. I'm sorry, Britt. Like, I want you to find love, and I think you will find love, but I don't think that I think that Britt's, like, sharing her sexuality really, like, ruffled his feathers, which is fine, like, to each its own. Mm-hmm. So I think him and Virginia will work out really well. And then I think that, I forget all the M names, girl. I can't keep up.
Megan, Mason, Madison, and Alex.
Okay. So, you can go first with theirs.
I would say with those, I think Madison and Alex are gonna really like grow their connection because I feel like she does have a connection with Mason, and I think it's spicy and their energies are fun. It's more flirty, like lustful. Not really, but because Mason seems very intentional with her. But I feel like with her, Madison is just like, oh, I know he likes me. I'm flirting with him. She really likes Alex.
Yep.
So I feel like her and Alex are gonna make each other their number ones, and then. But I don't like how that leaves just Meg with Mason as like
a default.
Leftovers. Exactly.
And I don't want Meg to feel like that either. But
hell no.
It's kind of like a given in this show. Like, you know, when you have your two and one might break things off, and then, I mean, 2 minus 1 is 1. Like, what can you do? But yeah, I think so. Do you think, like, out of what we've seen so far, do you think folks are going to get married?
I think there's going to be some marriages.
More than one.
I think 2 now. I did say originally 1.
Okay.
And now seeing the connections, I think 2 will go through. I think 3 more additional will make it to the ceremony.
All right.
I don't know if they'll all say yes.
All right.
We'll see.
We will see.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, no, this was super fun. Super good chunk of episodes. I feel like it's going good so far. It's a little, overall, I do think it's a little dry, like the folks on the internet are saying. But it's because these people are, like, wholesome, and that's not a bad thing. Like, reality TV doesn't have to all be insanity, so.
It's true. And they're giving us more pod episodes so we can really see the connections unfold. They haven't done that in previous seasons, I'm understanding. Like, they're just less episodes.
Got you.
We got 6 episodes of the
Yeah,
pods.
and I think you're right. Yeah, it's usually 4 episodes of the pod. So
we're getting more footage, and maybe that feels why it feels like it's dragged out. But I think it's good. Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Yes.
I really want to know if other people are, like, on the same vibe as us with our reads.
Yes.
I feel like we were kind of on point with our predictions.
No,
we were off.
Right. But yeah, we
proved us wrong.
Right, exactly. So you just never know, and there's still a lot to watch. But yeah, we want to know your guys' thoughts on the episode so far, who some of your faves are, if there's any predicted villains. Like, I feel like this season has no villains, which is, like, if that's not Minnesota Nice, I don't know what is.
Exactly. No, that's a good
And on that note.
Bye.
Bye.
Our 2 cents.
Yeah.